Hello, everybody. Anthony here with Ace's Adventures. Happy Friday to you all. We are back once again, seemingly where I'm always at, in the heart of Pennsylvania. This time we are in Selinsgrove, Pennsylvania, and we are at the Susquehanna Valley Mall. Similar to the Lycoming Mall, I have been to this mall 2 or 3 times previously. And in the past year or so, similar to Lycoming again, this property has actually fallen on even harder times. You know, the middle of Pennsylvania really is like the epicenter of the dead mall nuclear explosion, for lack of a better term. And, from in kind of a weird way, like, I'm glad that it's dead. Obviously, I don't want to see this mall fail, of course, but I've wanted to cover this property for quite a while, but I wanted to wait until it got to a certain standard of deadness, and I think we definitely are there now. So I'm going to chat about the history of this property, and let you know about some upcoming things, which is usually par for the course here with Ace's Adventures. We just crossed 22,000 subscribers. Thank you so much. Who would have thought over 3 years ago when I started this channel we would get to this point? My growth has not been as fast as other channels. It's been kind of a slow organic growth, due to a fact of just, dead malls not being, the most popular topic in the world, so it's a little bit slower of growth. And of course, with certain other creators not making as much content anymore on this subject, that doesn't help as well too. So hopefully that restarts itself up, and some of us smaller creators benefit from others' great work. So, anyways, so we are once again at the Susquehanna Valley Mall here in Selinsgrove, PA. This mall is very beautiful. It's very well maintained. It is extremely clean. So, kudos to the maintenance staff here for keeping this place as clean. And I do hope that anybody that watches this video and is from this mall, or works in this mall, or is management, or whatever the case is, just understands that even though this mall may be on hard times, this video is in no way an attempt to hurt this mall or keep people from coming to this mall. Actually, quite the opposite. This is purely just to document this and know what these places look like in the event that they are no longer there. It's important that we remember our history. So many of these places just get torn down and forgotten about, and that is not how it should be. I am a walking mall librarian, and it is my job, as much as humanly possible, to document the retail history of our country and what is happening in this country right now with all these malls closing and whatnot. So this mall opened in 1978. The developer was a company called Kravitz Properties, and currently it is managed by Spinoso Real Estate Group. And it has, they say that it has 65 stores in here. I don't know that I fully buy that. My guess is it's far less than that. And the total retail square footage in here is actually only 750,000 square feet, which is kind of surprising because this is a rather large property. It's really spread out. It's a really unique design. It's kind of in sort of like a Z shape, kind of. That may not be exactly correct, but I didn't look in the overhead layout. But you walk into the mall and you have a T-shaped corridor to go either way, and then you have this kind of weird random wing that breaks off, which we're walking down right now, and kind of just is really unique. I wonder if this was an addition later on. And the funny thing about this mall is that the Boscovs actually opened in '77 prior to the mall even opening. The mall, like I said, itself opened in September of '78 with only 400,000 square feet. So I suppose that answers that question, that they did eventually expand. They originally had Bonton, and then JCPenney came on 10 months after the mall opened. And then in '98 they added the fourth anchor of Sears. So I guess that, once again, the mall did expand. Hollister opened December 2008. Just some random facts here. Barbara Moss announced its closing in 2009. Wow, there's a throwback. Barbara Moss and KB Toys closed in 2009. By the way, I miss KB Toys so much. God, I wish they would come back. And I had heard that they were going to, but I haven't seen anything about that recently. So, obviously this mall has lost most of its anchors. The downturn really started in 2015. Gap closed. and JCPenney closed in April of 2015. The Hallmark store closed in June 2016. Aeropostale closed in September 2016. And it's just, man, it's really sad to see all these, anchors and stuff close in these malls, because the anchors just, the Radio Shacks and all those places hurt, but when the anchors close, there's just so much space to really, to really make up for that. So these malls just stay struggling and just try to stay open, and the really only thing that probably keeps them open is the fact that folks in the area don't really have much else for shopping to do. Of course, you're going to have Walmart, which is a terrible, terrible company, and I can't wait till Walmart's gone. I know it serves a purpose, but I absolutely hate Walmart and would trade it for something else in a heartbeat. Now, one thing on sort of a grim kind of note, this mall does have some notoriety. There was a murder of a man named Troy LaFerrara in 2013 and Lori Ocker in 1989, and both began in the property or the parking lot of the mall. So there actually was two grim things that happened in this mall. I don't know exactly the exact details on that, but that can never be good for business. So anyways, moving on as we see this awesome Spencer's 90 era logo here on the left-hand side. So this mall is near Williamsport, Pennsylvania, which is where the Little League World Series is, as is Lycoming Mall. There is a plethora of malls in this area, and most of them are dying. You've got, to the south quite a ways, you've got, Philadelphia and the King of Prussia Mall, which is obviously doing very well. So we'll see what happens. I enjoy documenting these properties. I'm getting to as many as I possibly can, having a full-time job. One thing I want to mention too here is this mall has a really interesting connecting corridor that I'm going down right now. If you live in this area or are passing through, I highly recommend taking a stop through and checking this property out. So that's about it for now. Make sure that you are following me on Instagram and Twitter as per usual at Aces Adventures 1. Consider becoming a Patreon donor at patreon.com/AcesAdventures to help the Dead Mall cause go. And make sure you check out some of the other great content creators and consider joining us on the Dead Malls of Discord. I will see you all soon. Be back soon with more content right here at Aces Adventures.